Hello friends, today in this live stream we will be building a world clock where you can get the current local time of any country, and we will be scraping this value from live from Google search engine. So if you just go to Google and then you type any country here, India current time, just add current time to it, and automatically Google gives you the current time of that country. You will see that alongside with the date and time also. This is a current day, and also it includes the IST, which is Indian current time. So we will be scraping this value here. Simply I will right click this value, inspect element, and we will try to scrape this value using the XPath, copy XPath value. So we will try to scrape this value so that we will be displaying the current time of each country, and we will be converting this to a express application so that whenever we select any sort of country, we will be displaying the current time. So you can change the country to any country of your choice. You will see the time will change here accordingly from country to country. So we will try to scrape this value using a Python script, and then we will use it inside our Node.js application. So we will do it using Selenium. You have heard about this library. This is a Python web scraping library. This is its official website, and we will use this library to do this task. It's a very powerful library when it comes to automated testing and web scraping. So let's start building this application. So first of all, Discord login. So I will do this after this video. So I will make sure that I build this Discord login. So don't worry about it. So first of all, we will start this application, guys. So in the same directory, you will see, we will, let me delete all these files here and start from scratch. So let me also delete this. So now guys, you can see that, let me create this file here, which is worldclock.py. So if you are watching it for the very first time, then please hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well. So right here guys, first of all, you need to install Selenium, which is pip install Selenium. Selenium is the library by which you will get to scrape the value from google.com. So install this library. So and after that we will import from Selenium. We need to import the web driver. After that we also need the system module. This is a Python script we will be writing here. And also you need to include this line here, which is, just include this. This is useful for taking the input inside the input field. So just copy paste this line. And after that we will simply say if name is equal to main, and right here we will just make a simple function that scrape, or we can just make this function name as current time, and then we can pass the country name inside system.argument1. So now we need to make this function right here inside our Python script. So we will say that current time, and here we will be passing the country like this. And first of all, what we need to do is that we need to initialize the driver, which will be driver WebDriver dot. If you are using Firefox, you will use Firefox. I am using Chrome browser, so I will use Chrome. And here you need to pass the executable. I have already downloaded this Chrome driver.exe. So in order to download this, it is very easy. First of all, get the browser number that you are using here, like this. So from this website, so I am using Chrome 99. So now to download this Chrome driver, simply write Chrome driver, and from this website you can download the appropriate version. So just download Windows 32 if you're on Windows, Mac, Linux, all these versions are there. So extract the value, which is Chrome driver, and paste it inside there. root directory of your project. So right here we will include this chrome driver.exe. After that we will target the input element of google.com. So whenever you go to Google, there is that input element. We will right click it, inspect element, and this is the element we want, copy XPath. So we will say that input driver dot find element by XPath, and we will paste the XPath. So we will get the reference of this input element. Now basically we need to write something inside it programmatically. So we will need to write something here. So that something will be very similar. So if you want to search for time, you will say that India current time. So we need to write this programmatically. So for doing this, we will simply say that input dot send keys, and here we will pass the country name, which will be country, and then we will concatenate like this current time, and after that we will press enter. In order to press enter, it will be keys dot enter. That's it. And after doing this, guys, we need to scrape the value. So we will say, if you see here, this is a value we need to scrape. So right click it, go to inspect element and go to console. Sorry, this we need to copy this XPath here. This is the thing we need to copy it. Simply copy this. So we will create a new variable here, which will be simply will be equal to time. So this will be driver dot find element by XPath. So here we will say dot text, and after that we will get this value, which is this whole value. We will again inspect element and write this here. We will copy the XPath here like this. Simply, this is a div here. Simply right click, copy XPath. So this is your description, I will say. So driver find element by XPath. So we will extract the text like this, and lastly we will have the country name, which will be equal to find element by XPath. So there is a last line which is available here. If you see here, time in India. So we will also scrape this. So right click, inspect element. So right here, copy this line, copy XPath. That's it. Just paste it here, and we will extract the value dot text. So after that, guys, we can print out these values. So we will say print time, print description, and we will say print country. So now if you launch this application, if I write here python app.py, and in double quotes you will write here your argument name. So I will write here India first of all, and if I launch this, automatically this browser window will open and it will type India current time. So it will scrape all this value here. You will see this is a time, current date, current day, IST. This is the whole thing that it has scraped here, and then time in India like this. You can see that. So in this way, guys, you can do this like this. So so now we can display this information inside some kind of a table. So that will be pretty great. So if I take another example like New Zealand, so if I type here new space New Zealand, if I see this New Zealand current time, you will see that time in Wellington, New Zealand. You can see that. So now guys, we need to, after getting all this information in the console here, we will try to display this information in the browser using Node.js and Express. So we can, first of all, we can store this information inside a object. So this is time, description, country. So basically we can convert this to a JSON object and then return from this. So we can simply type here info, which will be currently be a object. So we'll say that info time will be equal to the time, info description will be equal to the description, and info country will be equal to the country. That's it. So this is your object which is ready guys. So we can now print this object which is info. So once again, if I launch this and this time I pass a different country name, South Africa I pass. So it will now South Africa current time, you will see that. So if I see here, let me see the right click. I have converted this to JSON. I am just looking forward to how to do this. The code required to JSON data. So we need to dump this. So in order to dump it to a JSON file, it is very easy. So I will write like this. So JSON data, you need to dump this. So here we will replace info, and this will create a info.json file in the root directory. So it is saying JSON underscore dump is not defined. For this, you need to import the JSON library, which is a built-in library inside Python. So after that, I think this error will go away. Let me, so hopefully it has created this file. It is still saying JSON dump is not required. Let me see. Oh, sorry. From here, we need to import this from matplot library. So this function is there. So just paste this line here at the very top. So for this, you will need to install this library, which is matplot pip install matplot library. So install this. So now if you execute this, so you will see it will create this JSON file in the root directory. Info. Let me see. Just wait, guys. I'm just seeing here why it is not displaying the information. So system argv1 JSON underscore dump. If I once again write like this, JSON, let me write here Canada. So 1234. So it will print out this all this information, but it is not creating this JSON file which we have. Oh, sorry, I was calling the. You can see that I am calling the wrong file name, which is app.py. You can see that I am calling the wrong information. I need to call this file, which is world clock py. This was the error which was coming. So we need to call Python world clock.py, and here we will pass the country name. Let's suppose I pass here um, USA, and if I enter it, so just you will see that it will in the left hand side corner it will. Let me close this. Canada. I think some error is taken place. 5 people are watching the video, guys. We will be in this video. We are scraping the current time of a country using Google.com. If you just type any country like this, Australia current time. So we are scratching this value which is coming here, and we will try to display this value inside a table like structure. So if you're watching it for the very first time, then please hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well. So let me see what we are doing wrong here. uh, I I think you can see that we are not going to google.com. So first of all we need to go to google.com, driver.get google.com. So just add this line, guys. So this was the mistake that we were doing here. We were not going to google.com. So once again, if you launch this application, this time I pass Ireland. So now you will see it will say Ireland current time, and this will create this info.json file. This will have these three properties, which is the current time, description, and the country. So now we need to display this information inside the browser. So we will use a express for this. So we will simply say npm i npm init dash y. So this will create the package.json file. After that, we can install express and EJS template engine. So just install this. So in the meantime, if you have any sort of question, you can ask in the comment section. So 40 rupees super chat, Soumya. Thank you very much, sir. Discord login integration in Angular, please. I have got your question. I will definitely make a video on this. So you need to wait for this. I will make it at tomorrow or a day after tomorrow. Definitely I will make this video. So don't want to worry about it. So which language is best to learn before Python? I think Python is the easiest language that you can learn out there. I think Python and JavaScript, these are the two very easy languages. And if you're talking about very difficult languages, then I will say that C++ and PHP, these are very difficult languages to learn as a beginner. So don't try, if you are a beginner, don't go for PHP and C++, go for Python and JavaScript. Their syntax is very much easy, and I will recommend these two languages, which is quite easy. So now it is installed, guys. So now we can simply make the index.js file. So right here we can include the express module. We can require it. So we can set the view engine like this, view engine EJS, which we have installed, and then app.get. When we load the home page, we will display this response dot render, we will display the index template. So we need to create this template inside the views folder. This will be index.ejs. So right here we will say the title of this will be world clock, get current time of any country. So right here guys, we will use some bootstrap. So make sure that you include the bootstrap using its CDN. So go to w3schools.com and also just include the CSS part, and after the title we will paste it. So now we will give it a container class, and inside this we will have a heading where we will say that world clock in Node.js and Express, and then we will have a simple form element. The action will go to get time, and the method will be simply post. So right here guys, what we will do is that we will simply say form group, and inside this we will say that form control, and instead of an input field we need to be having a select list which will contain all the country names. So if you just type here select list of all countries, just it will provide you this HTML country select drop down list which will contain all the countries name. Here you will see that. So people have coded this, so this is quite easy to find on the internet. So right here I will paste this. So this will contain all the countries which have their own options here. You will see that. Now we need to simply wrap this. So let me format the document. So we can delete this. So here we can simply say select country, and after that we can give it a class of form control. I think it already have given this class. So you will see that class is form control. So basically if I launch this application, you will see nodebon index.js. You will see something on the screen. So if I see here localhost 5000, so I think we haven't started the application. So we need to add this line app.listen 5000. App is listening on port 5000. So now you will see this is your select list which contains all the countries. So you here you can select any country to get the current time of the any country. So now we need to simply have a button here. So after this we will have a simple button. After this div we will have a simple button. Here we will say that btn danger btn block. So here we will say get current time. You will see that now we need to simply make this post request, which is if you see we inside the form here we have provided this post request which is get time. So we need to make this post request right here, app.post get time request response. So here we need to call the Python script. So now to call the Python script we will simply say const execute, and we need to require the built-in child process module. So here we will simply say execute in backtick symbol Python, the script name which is world clock .py, and here we will pass dynamically inside double quotes. Inside this is a syntax to pass variables. This is the template string here. So here we will say request.body.country. So we have given this name attribute to this country here. You will see name country. So here we will get this. So now to use this request.body, we need to use this middleware function, which is body parser. So we need to include this. So this is a built-in function. You did not have to install it. So app.use body parser.url encoded extended to false. So after this, guys, this contains error object, standard output, and standard error. So we can console log the standard output, and what we can do is that we can download this file, which is info.json, which will get created like this. So this is the method inside Express. Just now refresh your application. If you type a country name, if you select a country, Andorra, I select, click the, it will launch this window here automatically in the, you will see that after that it will download this. Let me see here what is, if I see, it has created this JSON object, but it hasn't downloaded it. Just wait, guys. I am just looking on why it is hasn't. So just wait, guys. I am just looking at it. So now if you just click it, you will see in the background the window will open. It will get the current time, and after that it hasn't downloaded the file. Let me see why it is that. So inside this file, response.download. So instead of downloading it, guys, we can just read this file. So basically, we can read this JSON file. So in order to read this, it is very easy. I have written this code here. Let me just see here. If you see this, we will require the file system module. So just include the file system module. This is a built-in module. And after that, this you need to copy paste this code here. In order to read this JSON file, it is very easy. So here we will replace the file name, which is info.json, and then we will read under the template, which will as time, we will call this as time. We will pass this object time is to time, and when we load the page for the very first time, this time object will be empty. So now inside this template, we need to, after this, we will have a simple table, bootstrap table. This is will be table striped, and table head tag we will have inside this. We will have three headings, which will be first one. If you check here, these are the three, which will be first of all country, then we have the description, then we will have the current time. That's it. So these are the three columns we will have. After this, we will have the table body tag, and inside this, we will have the if condition. So inside the if condition, we need to check here if this data exists or not. So right here, we will have if time object exists or not. So this is the EJS syntax here, which you need to write. So tr td, and inside this we will paste it like this time dot. So if you see, we have these three properties which we need to print out, which is time dot country, then we will have a time dot description, then we will have time dot time dot time. That's it. So now this application is complete, guys. Let me launch this application. Oh, sorry, we need to rename this to time. So we are passing the time here. So just rename this, guys. So this was a problem. So once again, you refresh it, select your country here, whichever country, click get current time. This file is creating properly, but why it is not? I think we just need to write node index.js. Just write like this. Now you can see that, guys, it is displaying properly. This was just a problem of just running with node So now you can see it is fully displaying the country description and the current time. You can change this country to any country, Let's suppose Cuba I change to. So now you can see current time 12:54. So this is the way by which you can scrape this current time of any sort of country from google.com using Selenium, and then you can display it inside Node.js and Express. So also if you load the page for the very first time, if you just see here, if you load the page for the very first time, then it is not displaying any sort of country. So here we can simply say, so whatever it is selected, let me inside index.js. So basically this is the selected value. Let me and when we load this page, we can just copy paste this right here. So we can pass the time. That's it. So just copy paste it when we load the page for the very first time also. This is the get request. So here also we'll say request.body.country. So now if I reload the application, so it is saying time is not defined. Oh, sorry, we need to move this inside this request. So just delete this. Let me refresh it. I can statically pass the value instead of like this. Afghanistan. So now you can see that. So when you load the page for the very first time also, then also it will display the time. So basically it is taking too much time as well. So you can also make this application a little bit faster by using AJAX instead of using the usual way. So let me see if I use AJAX instead of the traditional stuff inside this. So you can make this in your own application. Just use AJAX instead of EJS because it takes some little more time in order to calculate this. So you can also show a login screen here. So just show any sort of progress bar message that it is calculating the time. So just wait. This will be good for user engagement. So in this way, guys, you can build this awesome web scraping project in Node.js and Express using Selenium. So thanks very much for watching this video, and I will be seeing you in the next stream.